Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Everybody. Hey, Katia. How are you doing?
Hey Mo, what's up? What's up?
Not much. I had
Um,
my pineapple and banana smoothie this morning.
of course, and so did I actually. So did I.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Got the pineapples and bananas from Monique. Yeah, Monique's dad has a farm, and the stuff is top quality, top notch, top notch. I've been drinking pineapple in some way, shape, and form for the last couple of days, and let's just say I'm cleansed. Okay, I'm cleansed. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Jamaica live stream show. I'm your host, Katie Francis, and this is
Monique McIntosh, we're also going to be talking to you.
Monique is our co-host. Now, coming up on the show, the tech word of the day and the trivia question.
Mhm.
And in our tech news segment, Monique, we're confused,
Yeah,
perplexed.
because the BOJ decides that them don't know what them say about the
I
whole
don't.
CBDC thing. Is either, to me, to how I see it, is either somebody is actively trying to confuse the Jamaican public because people don't know what these things are, and you're saying very nuanced and conflicting things, or um they don't know themselves, and I don't
I
know
don't.
which
I
one of
don't.
the two is more
I
concerning.
don't. I don't know. I don't know. My take is slightly different, but I'm there with you, and I understand why you feel the way you feel. But I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused as to what they're doing and why it's taking so long. But we're gonna talk about that.
Mhm.
And Wolmer's top
Mm.
school, Wolmer's, they are participating in, and is it an international robotics program?
They are creating their own robotics program, miss. Excitement.
Excitement. Good morning, Camille. Good morning, Deborah. Morning, guys. So we are always excited when our students do the damn thing, and we have, and believe it or not, Jamaica has participated in several robotics programs on an
Yes.
international level, and I'll win. Talk up to it nice. So we're going to talk about the Woolmer's robotics program. And Monique, what's happening on technically speaking?
On technically speaking, we're talking to two amazing girl bosses themselves. We're talking to Telika McDonald, the owner of Women's Marketing Code, and also Karine Daly of CADS Communications. Now, if you're online, you've seen these ladies strutting their stuff and exercising their expertise online. I'm always tickled when I see Telika's videos and mini skits and stuff coming online. And we're going to be talking about the reality of entrepreneurship. So we've seen the glitz and the glamour and the Lamborghinis and the beach houses and all of the excitement that a lot of people talk about with entrepreneurship. And
Yeah.
then, because some people just want to mislead people. That's not just facts.
They
But
want to
then
sell
there
a course or a program or something.
but then there are other people who genuinely are working and stuff, but they're only posting the good stuff. They're posting the big deal that they sign with somebody, and they're posting the excitement and the news deal, and woo, good things are happening. And
Yeah.
you don't get the other side. You don't get the late nights. You don't get the I miss my child's birthday this. You don't get the my man vexed with me last night because he wanted to snuggle up and watch a movie when I had to
Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're
finish up
wow,
work.
Monique. But
Yeah?
this sounds personal.
No,
What's
no,
going
no,
on?
no, 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 not at all. But just saying. So it's you don't get the other side is the point of what I'm saying. And so in our conversation this morning, Kadeen and Telika and the two away, I got talk the things them
For
because
sure.
we know all the things them go.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it. And
Yes.
later on our people and product segment, we're talking niching,
Yeah.
being a woman in business and strategies. I always get why I always get tongue
Stress,
tied.
stress, stress.
Strategies for success with
Yeah.
probably one of the most well-known lady bosses in Jamaica, Shawneel Bailey Gordon, founder of Zarabelle. So
Mhm.
stay tuned for that conversation, and we want to hear from you in real time. Add your 2 cents in the chat, and the best comments will be featured on our stream.
Yeah.
The Digital Jamaica live show is sponsored by Monique, who's our sponsor.
G5 Cybersecurity Limited, protecting businesses and families. Visit www.g5cybersecurity.com to assess your company's network for security vulnerabilities and to see if you comply with the Jamaica Data Protection Act.
So when you go in on your radio voice. All right, guys. And now it's over to Monique for the word of the day and our tech trivia question.
All right, guys. So today's word of the day is World Wide Web. Now, we have a popular Jamaican saying. It is Tonya and McFashion, and it is totally apt when we're talking about the creation of the World Wide Web. Now, Tim Berners-Lee, follow me here. He was frustrated with having to go through multiple computers in order to get or access information, and so in 1989 he decided to do something about it. And he submitted a proposal to his bosses at CERN to create an information management system that was based on a database software that he created 9 years earlier, which used the web. In 1990, he, continued working on and refined that proposal to build a hypertext. And this was a project that he called the World Wide Web. So fast forward a year later to August 1991, and Berners-Lee published the first article, which was a short summary of the World Wide Web project on what is arguably called the first website. And therefore, the internet as we know it was born. 2 years later, on April 30, 1993, CERN gifted the World Wide Web to the public by making it accessible, putting it out in the public domain via an open software license. And this was done in order to maximize its dissemination and allowing the web to actually flourish, because they would have realized in 3 years, keeping it as a closed network, you only get so far and no more. So, of course, we couldn't have told the whole story in all its layers and juicy bits, but this is at least an idea of how the web got started. We didn't talk about the part where nobody was paying him any attention. Nobody really understood what he was talking about. When he started making his suggestions about marrying his system with the already developed internet, and these things ended up developing some of the most important technological systems that we know and use today, namely the Uniform Resource Locator, also known as a URL, hypertext markup language, also known as HTML, which is basically the language that allows the display of documents on web pages, as well as hypertext transfer protocol, also known as HTTP, which is the foundation of data communication. Now, Tim Berners-Lee is still alive and has now turned his attention to fighting for fair and equitable access to internet as a public good and as a basic right all throughout the world through the World Wide Web Foundation. You can find him on Twitter at Tim Berners_Lee. Yo, Tim Berners-Lee is a G. Love it. All right. And so we're going straight into our trivia question. And our tech trivia question for the day is, who is credited as being the inventor of online shopping, and in which year did...
No.
Okay. All right. Who is this man? Put him back again. Who is this man and what is he famous for? Now, when I have to look on the picture, and we did show it a second time.
It's on our social media pages.
Who is that guy and what is he famous for?
All right, Mo, your internet
All
not
right. So
working
guys,
with
make
you
sure
this
that you
morning.
sending your yeah, they decide to give up, you know. So guys, make sure that you comment your responses. You let us know who you think this is, so that we can assign and reward you with a prize. All right. So get your answers in and let's see what you guys have to say and who you think this is.
All right, all right, all right, all right. So,
Yes.
straight into our tech news segment. Monique is
Yeah.
upset, clearly upset about this BOJ. Guys, we have been talking about um, digital currency for a long time. We've specifically been talking about central bank digital currency, which is the CBD.
CBD.
The first country, if memory serves, the first
Mhm.
country to come out with a CBDC was is it Bahamas or Barbados? I'm sorry, I keep getting those two confused. I'm very sorry, but it was called the sand dollar.
Mhm.
Sand dollar, yeah,
Bahamas.
it was the Bahamas, the sand dollar. And it was revolutionary because this little Caribbean island, and they move with the thing. Then there was in the Eastern Caribbean dollar, CBDC. And so that kind of started a trend in the Caribbean and elsewhere of governments exploring digital currency. But we had heard about the Jamaican version of this sometime before. And we're thinking, okay, we're innovating, doing things, moving along. But then nothing happened. And nothing is happening.
Yeah.
And we commented on this a couple weeks ago and we said there's not a lot of information out there about it. There's not a lot of people talking about it, and we're wondering what's well not there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of article being produced by the BOJ explaining what this thing is, how it's going to work, etc. And I thought that was weird. So we reached out to them and we're like, hey
Interesting.
guys, we'd like to talk to you guys about it because we think this could be good for this, that, and that, but we're only speculating as to what this thing could be used for. Talk to us.
Right.
We've not we were supposed to do something and it just didn't pan out. Not sure why. But we've been scouring the internet trying to find information about this, and all we're finding is
Yeah.
speculation. People speculating as to what this thing is, And more, there's just
And
been we
the
hear the
other
minister
thing
say
that
one thing, then we hear BOJ say something else, and we're like, what are you guys doing? Make
the
this
other
make
thing that has been
sense.
happening the other thing that has been happening is like drip, so you get one more cell of information here and then
Yeah.
you get one more cell of information
If
2 months
yeah,
later. It's not useful enough for you to do anything real, anything substantial with the information. It's more like a reminder that I exist. And we're
yeah,
like, as people who are not used to this technology is new, this is innovation. A lot of persons are not accustomed to it. So there's a
yeah.
lot of education that is
That needs to
required.
happen, right? And because that's
Y-
what we have decided to take up the mantle to do. Because that's what we do at Digital Jamaica. We try to give you as much information as we can give you so you can make informed decisions about things, especially when it comes to digital and tech. That's our lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what my problem is, Monique. So Richard Biles, who is the governor of
Governor.
the Bank of Jamaica,
Yeah.
came out in an article on July
Yeah.
6th and said that apparently they're having difficulties convincing stakeholders to accept and to prepare to implement CBDC. I thought there was already a conversation happening with stakeholders because that's what has been said from December
Listen,
2020.
hold on a
From
second.
last year, I was hearing that conversations were happening with stakeholders.
Before you even go any further with dear Circadia, it's so contradictory, the one statement, because in the same article, he said that, right? He said one of the challenges encountered in some instances was to convince them to accept
Right.
and use. Then he went on the other side to say we need the commercial banks and other financial institutions to promote it and recommend it to their customers. And he added that he did not anticipate any major challenge in convincing them to embrace it. So,
But I think he was talking about the customers. I think that maybe it's how the article was written because
yeah,
oh, maybe it's how the article was written
yeah,
because I think he was talking about customers. I agree with him that I don't think Jamaicans are going to have a problem embracing it. But I think what he's saying is the problem for him is the institutions, the financial banking institutions. He wants them to be on board. He wants them to accept this thing. He wants them to move in a particular direction. And he's saying that he's encountering problems doing that. But he doesn't think that the customer is going to have that. He's going to have that same. He's going to have a hard time
I think
with
that's true.
customers.
I think that's true with certain segments,
But I think it's
because
how the article was written because he went
yeah,
on to say the customers have to like the product, think it's good for them, and be prepared to take it up and join a bank. That's a marketing thrust that we will be pushing at the bank, Mr. Bice said. But listen to this statement and be prepared to take it up and join a bank. I remember earlier, Monique, we did say we think this is part of a larger push to get unbanked Jamaicans into the formal banking system. That's what we had said earlier.
yeah,
And it could be if it is that you're offering this kind of alternative, it could be depending on how the banks decide because the banks can still put onerous um, processes in place for them to acquiesce. But we did say that, and it looks as if that's the case because that he said that just now, right?
yeah,
But then Monique, less than a week later,
yeah. On
they're
July
sending
11.
out reminders about cautioning persons about cryptocurrency. A very dramatic warning, and saying that you know there's potential risk of using or investing in cryptocurrencies, and that they're reminding person that cryptocurrencies are digital currencies that are not issued or guaranteed by a central bank or a monetary authority.
Yeah,
In addition, cryptocurrencies are not legal tender in Jamaica, and the Bank of Jamaica does not regulate or supervise these forms of digital currencies.
yeah,
In that context, the public is again being cautioned to be aware of the various risks associated with the use of cryptocurrencies. So they go on to list the following: high volatility money. There's a sound coming from your background.
I'm sorry. Somebody decided it was the ideal time to mow their lawn
Oh
with a
Lord.
weed whacker.
Okay, high volatility causing significant fluctuation in value, the use of cryptocurrencies in conduct of criminal activities, that's new, including money laundering and the financing of terrorism, okay, higher degree of cyber fraud, hacking, settlement rate. I mean, they listed a whole lot of stuff. We're not saying that that's not the case. We're not saying that that's not the case. But that has not been rampant. That it's not like the entire cryptocurrency system is being plagued by these things. That's
Yeah,
not the case.
yeah,
And so, what our thing is more digital currency and cryptocurrency is in the same family.
yeah.
They
They're
are
not
all
that
run on
different.
blockchain technology.
Yeah,
So when you're going to say to the Jamaican public, beware of cryptocurrency, but y'all get into this digital currency,
It is
it's the same
confusing.
technology.
It is confusing, and the people who don't understand the nuance or the slight difference between the two, you're telling me about
There's a big difference between the two.
you're telling me about cryptocurrency and digital currency same time. Me never know none of them exist, right?
Well, I don't think anybody nowadays don't know what cryptocurrency is or have not heard about cryptocurrency because
You are very, yet
no,
you
because
keep
there's
telling me I'm
several.
optimistic. You're very optimistic.
I think Jamaican people are way savvier than we give them credit for. There has been a lot of conversation about cryptocurrency happening in the Jamaican space. Twitter is awash with cryptocurrency Jamaican pages. There has been conversations. There has been countless conversations all over the internet. And I think even if we don't know exactly what it is, we've heard about it. My issue is, can we have one person to come on and explain to us what is this thing? What, and I'm talking about the central bank digital currency because they're saying one of the problems with cryptocurrency is that it's not issued by a central bank. That's kind of the point of the cryptocurrency, decentralized. That's the whole point of it. Because if we have the central bank controlling it, then we're
The
going to run into
government.
the same problem we were having before, which is why we wanted a cryptocurrency in the first place. Government involvement, right?
Yeah.
But what they're also ignoring is the fact that the decentralization of the currency is what makes it stable because you can track it. That's what the blockchain does. You can authenticate and track, and that's the beauty about it. And it's the same technology they're going to be using to run the digital currency. So when you're telling people, so okay, that technology is bad for cryptocurrency, but it's great for digital currency that's issued by us, it's
Disingenuous.
confusing and it's all over the place, and we've still not yet had a very cohesive explanation from anybody at BOG as to what this thing is, what it should be used for, and what I've noticed too is in the publication, the news publication, they seem to be confused as well. I noticed that when we talk about tech in our news space, they're not very clear, and I think it's because there's a digital literacy issue, and because there's a literacy issue and the persons who are reporting on it are not tech minded or have basic tech knowledge,
Knowledge.
they have a difficulty explaining things to people when it comes to that.
And then there's another layer which we're experiencing right now. There's not a lot of forthcoming information from the government and from these other stakeholders that would make it clear to somebody who is not in the deep tech space and who may not understand all of the nuances or differences and variations and stuff, for them to properly and adequately report
Yeah,
without doing a whole ton of research for one story.
we need better reporting on tech in the news space, in the general news space, and we need our institutions, the Bank of Jamaica, to be better at promoting these things because they've not been doing a good job at promoting it. It's been months, and we don't know. At first, we heard they were testing, then they were talking to stakeholders. At this point, we don't know where it is at, what they're doing. We don't know anything. And because we don't know anything, we're left to speculate, and the speculation that's out there is actually not positive.
Yeah.
So that is something that they need to address. But moving on to something way more positive
Positive.
and way more sensible. Wolmer's money.
Yes, yes. So Wolmer's led. So Wolmer's a big school. Yeah, we know this from day one.
Yeah.
They have decided to create and have their students participate in a robotics program. And now, when we talk about Wolmer's, we're literally talking about the entire Wolmer's Trust. We're talking about Wolmer's girls, Wolmer's boys, and Wolmer's prep, right? So,
Yeah.
right across the board. The program is led by Wolmer's technology committee. So they it here's about intentionality and a strong alumni too.
Yeah.
right? Because they've seen
And
the
a money
importance.
alumni. Let's
They
let's be real about it.
keeping it
Rumors
real,
alumni
yeah.
are money. Yes.
Right. And if I'm so anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually think that Womas is the oldest school, right, in Jamaica. So, and one of the oldest in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's older than JC. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
we're not talking about we're not looking at country schools because I don't know.
No, I think it is.
You sure
Yeah.
William Nib is not the oldest school in
We
Jamaica? We can
we
we can
can
talk
fact
about
check it
it
after.
because I think
Right?
William Nib is one of the oldest schools in Jamaica. But yeah, let's
So
yeah
yeah. So but they're focusing on different areas. They're talking about coding, software development, fabrication, um electronics and simulations, right?
yeah
I think that's supposed to be sensors and electronic simulations. So over the summer, students will be able to participate in an internship where they're going to, and get this, create a robotic arm to grill chicken. So they're doing everything from fabricating and building the grill to building the robot arm that's going to be able to turn and flip the chicken. So they're gonna do everything from welding the grill together. They have to they've chosen material that will be conducive to the heat. So the robot arm has to be able to take the heat in order to deal with the flipping. And they call it grilling chicken, but I am sure they're going to be jerking some chicken. Yeah. So we are here for these students being exposed to these technologies from their very young. Those kids that are in prep school
yeah
that are going to be exposed to this technology in building the robot arm and the software and the hardware, is like the marrying of the two
yeah.
components. I find that to be super exciting, as well as kind of introducing you and letting you know that there is so much more out there to be done
For
than
sure.
just be a lawyer and a doctor,
Yeah,
which was
and we have Jamaican students, and you see, this is what I'm saying. We're a lot more sophisticated than we give ourselves credit for in terms of our push or tech integration or push towards tech. Jamaican students have been winning robotics competition for years now. They've been entering and winning. I mean, NCU. I mean, from the high school level to the tertiary level. NCU, JC, they've all entered competitions, won, placed in competitions. So when it comes to that part of it, we kind of and to be fair, it depends on the school because again, the schools
we
with
have
the
pockets.
money,
Yeah, we have
yes,
pockets of
who can
opportunity.
who can afford their students opportunities to do certain things, or whose parents can afford them opportunities to do certain things. Of
Yeah.
course, they get the exposure, and it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. But yeah, very happy to hear this, happy about this, and we want to see more of these programs be a part of regular school curriculums.
Yeah.
We talk about STEM a lot, and in our working abroad webinar that we had on Saturday,
Yes.
one
Yes.
of our immigration experts said, "Listen, right now the focus is on STEM and essential service people, people in the health space who are essential service,
Yeah.
STEM and health space." So we keep talking about STEM, and now we're talking about STEAM, but we talk a lot in this country. We love talk. Actioning things, implementing things. That's where it goes kaput a lot of the times for us. So we want to see us implementing more programs into and integrating it into regular curriculum. Yeah. So our students, all our students can be exposed, which means that more money is going to have to be provided to the schools for them to be able to do these things, for them to be able to hire the proper instructors or facilitators. It's just a lot that needs to go into it. And my problem is, in this country, I don't think we place emphasis on education. As much as we talk about education is the key to success, Jamaican people love to talk about education. We don't place a lot of money in it. We talk about it a lot, we emphasize it a lot. We don't put money where we mouth.
We don't resource it.
We don't resource a lot. And
resource
it's
it.
the same thing with health. We don't
Yeah.
resource health a lot, but we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I tend to have. But guys, I could talk about this all day, right? So Fangan Choice, okay, says, with the pace of our tech status, we need a special task force to do research and reporting on digital currencies. There are different stages of valuation, or financial traders monetize everything else. Now is the time to monetize the next, to take monetization to the next level, and that's with technology, and that's what's happening. Okay, thanks to that. Curtis says, with the falling cost of computing power, more students can get a chance. I think it's better to give students cheap laptop as opposed to
Curtis.
as opposed to tablets. Curtis, don't get me started.
You're preaching to the
Curtis, don't
converted.
get me started, because I have been complaining about this for forever. Why are we giving people tablets and not laptops? Curtis, don't get us started. We have our guests. We have our guests to bring on.
It would have been the whole show.
We don't want to follow up the energy.
We'd have take up
every
the whole
time I
show.
think about this, it gets me so annoyed. We are piecemeal people with piecemeal things all the time. So man, we want to get our children into tech and using devices. Let's give them a tablet that them can't upload.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. But guys, we have two beautiful ladies in the building this morning, and they are two. No, I don't like the word lady. I don't like the hashtag lady boss or boss babe. I don't ask Monique. I don't like it. I think it's very Becky. I don't like it. But we have had a long history of women in the business world stepping into CEO spaces, whether or not it's through established organizations or institutions, or they're just deciding that, listen, my talent is best served in my own space, doing my own thing, because I'm boss like that, right? And we have two of those ladies here with us today. Guys, help us welcome to Digital Jamaica, Talika McDonald with her beautiful
Yes.
and Karine Daly. Okay, Miss Ma'am, Miss Girl.
Welcome.
Talika is the founder of Women's Marketing Code. Now, guys, if you're on Instagram and you're not following Women's Marketing Code, you're missing out on some
fire content.
Content. Just because she's all here doing the damn thing and being amazing and just dashing out information and ton of programs that if you want to know how to sell anything online, Talika, okay? And then we have Karine, who is a PR expert, and we have spoken to Karine on this. In fact, we've spoken to both of you on this platform before.
Yes.
Now, Karine has a very interesting background, right, Karine? And she, after working within certain spaces for a while, she decided that, I can do this by myself. Because I'm not like that. And she moved into her own space and started her own company called CADS Communication. And the best thing for me about CADS Communication is a conversation. The other day they were having some fire conversations on their platform, and their staff photo shoot is just
excitement.
It's excitement. I absolutely love them, right? So welcome to the show, guys. We are absolutely happy to have you guys here. So let's get into this now, guys. If you've been on YouTube, you have seen the sign up for my course and you can become your own boss and set your own time.
6 figures.
Financial freedom. I'm sitting here going, well, maybe I'm heading something
Lamborghini.
wrong. But I'm just
Vacation
saying,
in the Maldives.
April 2020, Kate decides that she's gonna chuck off into entrepreneurship and buy work world, buy 9 to 5, set my I've not been able to set my own time since April 2020. Yeah. Because every minute of my time is dedicated to growing my business.
Yes.
You know
Yep,
what I mean?
definitely.
So I
Yep.
don't know where there's a lot of myths going around about entrepreneurship and what that is like. And even, entrepreneurship in a digital space. Oh, your business is online, you don't really do nothing.
Automated.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talika,
Earn while you sleep.
yeah, you're a digital business.
Don't work
Tell
a
us
day in your
about
life.
what's going on with money over there. Tell let's start out by talking about how you guys started your entrepreneurial journey because all of us start out different and sometimes how we start has a lot to do with how
Affects,
we
yeah.
progress in business. So Talika, how did you start with women's marketing code?
So, to be honest, I was just frustrated with the whole process of marketing online. Like,
Yeah.
I was just frustrated. I felt like the information was not there. I felt like I was seeing all of the same things that you were talking about, Katie, the 6 figures and the freedom and the 9 to 5 and 24/7, all of that. I was seeing all of that. And nobody was being transparent about what the process was like. So, what ended up happening was I felt like I was here and everybody else was here. And I'm like, no, but this can't be the case. This cannot be the case. How do I earn my first 4 figures or 5 figures in my business? Like, what does that look like? And then on top of that, I felt like at the time back then, because your girl has been in the game for some time, okay? So I started back in 2018 around that time frame. And so around that time, I felt like nobody was really talking about certain things. Everybody was talking about how to earn 6 figures. But how about 4 figures? Like how I even move from making 3 figures, 4 figures, and get there. So I felt like that was the problem. And that's how I started my business.
Okay. Okay, Karine, what about you? How did you I kind of know a little bit of the backstory, but can you
But
share
for the
with us
rest
how
of
did
us,
you
you know?
start?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll tell you the main inspiration behind me really just deciding to really, go into the entrepreneurial world. And, for many persons in corporate Jamaica, or if you have a 9 to 5 job, you will feel at times, in a box. And
Yeah.
you do have a lot of people who have all these talents. I am multi-skilled, right? I am a
Yeah.
trained teacher. I can do PR, graphics work, that sort of thing. And I have a lot of ideas and vision and so forth. And sometimes the ideas that you have may not necessarily be in keeping with the company that you work for. We're
Yeah.
not saying that it's a good or a bad company. It's just saying that you want to fly, right? And you're not working to your full potential. And
Yeah.
so, because of that, sometimes when you find yourself working into a 9 to 5 for 20 years or so, you trust me, you eventually maybe become bored, right? Because you want to do other things. And so I think I was just in a position where I kind of end up setting up myself, and it was really just the perfect time to go. And I have no regrets. And I tell you this, I'll make a confession right here. This is exclusive. That
Politics
even,
them.
yes, right? I've not shared this with anybody. So you see the post as being a CEO. But what I'll tell you in the first year, there were several things I was actually playing around with because it is a risk, right? It's easier for me maybe because I don't have any independence, such as children. I'm not married.
Yeah.
So it was kind of easy. But what was happening behind the scenes, me being a little bit nervous, I'm not going to say it's a major fear, but of course, we have to be real in terms of the financial aspect
Yeah.
of, in terms of our personal and professional life. And even though I was ready to invest my savings into setting up myself, every Sunday I would still, buy the Sunday paper and looking for a job and to see.
Yes.
To weigh my options as to
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes, Karine, look how you're like this.
Yes. But
Yes,
you know
girl.
what?
Yes.
You know what I'm sticking to right now, and why I'm so happy? Every time it's a Sunday, I go through the paper, and Monday I sit in front of the computer ready to apply for a job I think I'm ready for. I can't do it. And it only tells me every time I try to do it that, Kadeen, your heart is not in the 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I can't even send, I cannot prepare my resume to press send.
Girl, me and you both. There are so many times when I was like, you know what? As Kalina said, screw it.
Yes.
I am going to go look at work.
Yes.
I can go and I can sit down and do my 9 to 5 when 5 o'clock come. Me go on home and
Yes.
nobody can call me till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Right? But you see when you work for yourself, ain't no checking out.
No.
There's no checking out.
You
Sit at that computer until you're done do what you're doing.
And the phrase that says, understand and remember your why is so important, and that motivates me every day. And that is why I'm yet to send out a resume. So I'm really in a good place here. I'm so committed to it.
Yeah.
But why may I tell you?
It's a distress signal because you know, like when you're in public when them say to set up the flare, anytime you start to Bob, let me get the paper and see which jam and you right? That's a distress signal because even though you may be motivated and your heart and your passion is in it, oh my God, sometimes it can be difficult. So guys, what are some of the things that nobody told you about being an entrepreneur that you wish you knew before you started? Who wants to go first?
So I'll go first.
Let me hear what you got to say.
So I think the biggest thing for me is it kind of goes back to what you were talking about just now. Nobody really talks about how much work it takes mentally, physically, the sacrifices you have to make. Like people will come on and they'll share bits and pieces on social media or on Instagram, right? And fine. But when you get into it, the work and the sacrifice that you have to put in, I don't even think anybody can express it. You just kind of have to go through it, to be honest. It's one of those things. I just have to go through it. So I wish someone really sat me down and told me what the type of work it was going to take. Because when you're just starting out, let's talk about that. When you're just starting out, you're on the marketing team, you're your PR team, you're doing billing, you're doing account support, you're doing operation management, you're doing all of these different departments for a business, and it's just one of the hardest things to do. On top of, you're already having a life. If you have any kids, let's not even talk about that just yet. You have a spouse, different things like that. Maybe you're still in school. So I really wish someone sat down and that this entire thing that we're talking about, someone sat me down and said, listen, this is going to take work that you're not even going to be able to fathom. And you just have to get through it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Literally that point. That's what I was going to say, what Telika mentioned at the end, because a lot of time when we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about freedom and freeing up of time, as well as allowing you to do what you've always wanted to do, right? So now I can focus on my graphic design that I've always wanted to do. You're doing the graphic design, but you're also delivering the package, you're also sending to printer, you're also doing all you're ton accountant, and you can't even count, but you're ton accountant, and you're doing all of these things now become your responsibility. Whereas within a 9 to 5, you were a graphic designer and you did graphic design.
And I ain't doing no more than graphic design.
You're not
gonna have to pay me.
Listen, if them bring animation to you, you talk back to them and you say, hello, and you turn on your voice and or you refuse or you negotiate or something. No, when it's yours and your business, you literally spend a lot of time doing things you don't really care for. You're doing the accounting, you're doing the
Yeah.
admin work, you're sending the emails, you have to coddle clients and customers, you have to educate them many
But if
times.
you get clients and customers, you forget
Right?
you have to get some of that. Because Kadi, what do you wish somebody told you before
Yeah,
you
you
started?
started.
Listen to me, right? I wish somebody had mentioned you spoke about boss babe. I agree with you on that. That boss babe thing don't work for me, but I like the boss lady. But the thing about it is, the biggest thing I am discovering each day is that even though you're the boss, you're the CEO, I wish somebody would have mentioned that you report to somebody still, right? You don't necessarily make all the decisions. If you have a partner in your business, if you have a co-founder, if you have investors, if you are set up in a way where you have a board with directors, you still have to report to these people. Yes, you make the decisions, but I'm sure you don't want to have that sort of autocratic setup, where you just make decisions. You will rely on these people, and you will still have to, if you are on the stock market, for example. That's a scary thing to me, because when you're on the stock market, then your life goes out to the public in terms of how much money you make. You have to report to the investors, all that sort of thing. You risk, even though you are the CEO, you risk the chance of perhaps even losing your business, because board of directors can vote you off if you are not seen as a good CEO. So
Da
all
da
of those things. So it is more technical than just money.
Listen.
So you have
Way
to
more technical.
you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You have to educate yourself on what entrepreneurship is about. For the first year, my focus was not making money, even though I'm into PR and marketing and that sort of stuff. I really invested in training and development, in understanding. I wanted to understand taxation, as Monique said, accounting, all those things, so that when I start to grow and hire people to do these things, we don't want somebody come tell me about balance sheet and I don't know what it is that they're telling me. I want to have the basic understanding of all aspects of my operation. I tell you this much, why it's so important too. When the pandemic came about, I looked at some of the things I had to do for myself, and I said, boy, look how much money I'm able to save, and at the same time being able to do certain things for myself, only because I was not dependent on just having those people to do it. I would have loved, it would have been easier. But when you're able, say for example, if somebody calls in sick tomorrow, right, and it's crucial that I need to get something done, of course I can do it. But it includes proper time management and all those sort of things. But listen, entrepreneurship, what I'm saying is, no easy at all.
And
Preach.
that for sure. And Khalid mentioned something, and I my mind didn't even go there about when you have grown to a certain point where now you have board, mm, I have investors, I have all sorts of people. It gets ticklish, and this is so apt because uh Money Powell is going through it. Monique over at Quick Plate is going through it, and if you've been following her on Twitter, she has been making it public. She's like, "Listen, I had to spend $500,000 on attorneys to try to get them keep here off of the board."
And
She
she
has been having an ongoing dispute with her chairman that she's been trying to replace for the longest while, and my man said, "Touch a button." Right? So she's been going
Right.
through it.
she
But you
even
heard
said
the
that it will.
example. Go ahead,
One
Monique.
sec. Just adding to what Kadia said, that she said that it's actually gonna cost her about $6 million when everything is said and done. So the $500,000,
It's just attorney fee.
I just the attorney fee are just the beginning. Yeah,
Yes,
go on.
Wow.
yes. So you have to make sure that even though you don't know what the future holds, you just really have to make sure that the people. And I read an article in terms of what it takes to set up a board of directors and investors. And the first thing the article spoke about is to make sure that when you're setting up your business and the people you partner with or the people that you hire, even your clients and so on, you're all on the same page. The vision, how you plan to operate, standard operating procedures. When I worked in the 9 to 5 job, we had to sign to make sure we agree with these standard operating procedures, the marketing and so forth. Right? So you have to understand those sort of things. And I've always said, listen, CATS Communications will not be a patty shop. I want to I want to be compliant. I want to have structures in place, but at the same time, I want to protect myself.
Guys, let's talk about compliance. Because and I'm glad you bring that up, Karine, because people think fair. Because your business is online, you don't have a physical location. Karine, do you have a physical location?
Right now, I don't know.
So you don't have physical location. So because your business is online or in the virtual space, that means that certain things don't apply. Well, Monique and I run up in it. When we decide, just like Karine, that we are going to be in the formal system, right? And we want to be on the up and up because no patty shop business.
Yes.
Girl, the stress.
Yes.
The stress to register the business.
The tax. The tax.
I had like a 2-minute breakdown when
girl, I had a 1 month breakdown because after we get the tax bill last week, the 2020 tax bill, Karine, I literally was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to work.
Karine, don't go there, please.
I will talk about that off here, but don't go there.
Talika, the same applies to you because you're in Canada, you're Canadian based. It's the same thing that applies to you. You have to go to, if it is that you want to make sure that your business is legit and it is operating in a legit space, even though it's virtual, you have to go through the same process, right?
Canada taxes in Canadian. And let me tell you, that's one thing. Taxes over here is ridiculous.
No one except me like things are free healthcare and safety and
even when you see it, even when you see where it's going, it's still a lot. It is still so much. I can't listen. I don't even want to start talking about this. My feel my blood.
It's stressing. It's stressing. Yeah. You know what the worst part about it is, especially in Jamaica. I'm not sure if it's the same thing for Canada, Talika. The lack of information. Yes. Guys, we thought it would be a simple thing to just go register with partnership. We're not register company. We're register partnership, right? Who am ready? Listen.
And if you don't understand, you know what I don't like, Kadia? Going on the same point that you're making. You register a company, you do not get an information pack that says, now you're registered as this. Remember, you're registered with them, These are the requirements of you.
Yeah.
Monthly, quarterly, or annual returns.
None.
This form, what the name of the form is, a guide or a sample of completing the form, you don't get anything.
And so it's either the information different for all of them website. So if it's 4 government agency, the 4 of them are telling 4 different things.
I'll tell you another layer to Acadia. Just say you go on the same website and the home page say one thing. And the tax page say next thing.
We're looking at you, Jamaica tax office. Yes, we're looking at you.
And if you go on the next page that is about company or partnership, it says something different. So as somebody from the outside who does not have the information, it is so confusing and in many cases contradictory because you're getting different information sometimes even from the same source.
Karine, we were trying to renew our TCC recently. Remember, we got the TCC online. We applied for it, I got it online.
Yeah.
We were trying to renew it recently. The lady on my tax office told us?
What?
COVID over, so we cannot renew it online. We have to go turn up in a tax office Constant Spring line. We take 45 hours to get through to talk to them. You have to go turn up in the line for go do interview for renew the TCC.
How long ago was that?
That was in April, May.
In April, May.
This year?
The lady tell me something is done. Yes.
Because no, I got my TCC renewed online.
Listen to
The
me.
lady tell me say tax the COVID done. We have to go in go do interview.
So you see, there's that
For
same
you,
No.
You see the
talking
contradiction.
about with information.
Hear what's up. Hear
well,
what's happened, Kadeen. Hear what's happened. Because we got the first TCC online and they had not done that initial interview or whatever with
Their
us,
way
this
back.
is their way of getting us back in to get that interview done. And regardless of the fact that literally Delta and all of these other things are here and around and are real concerns, and it's just messy. And then I told you not to go there with the tax conversation. It also spill over into this because we've been
We've
through it. We've been put through it from the accountant we hired to how much you pay for tax, which is more than how much we're supposed to pay for tax, to so that
been
may I
rough.
tell you.
Yeah,
I tell
it's been
you.
rough.
One of the things I want to point out for anybody going into a business, even though you may have the information which may be limited, like you've expressed, you must also be prepared to seek a mentor in your field
Yeah.
that can share, their experiences, somebody that has that wealth of information, and two, be prepared to do a lot of research. You
Sure.
cannot just go to one, okay, you're going on the agency and then you're seeing, the information is limited. Seek to find for an entrepreneur, you will find out that reading and researching all the time and keeping up with trends and just the new policies, just all these sort of things. You have to be prepared to always find time, read, and to make time for your mentor so you can talk about the challenges and the easiest way around it. I am not sure I can, unfortunately, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure I can relate to the experience you've had with the tax office, because I feel like I need to be an ambassador for them because it has been so smooth sailing. Why? Again, I spent some time. They have an education team, and listen, I tell people that they have it in the tax office, and you can sit down. I went to a class when I wanted to file my taxes for the very first time. There was a class, even a 70-year-old woman that has a shop there. They took their time and they help people and they show you how you go online.
So is that virtual?
No, I actually
exactly. The problem we had was that when we went to get it, we started out virtual.
Yeah,
which is what Monique was explaining. So when we tried to renew, and this is the thing, this is what makes no sense, guys.
Mm-hmm.
They are touting that tax office is now online.
Yes.
Okay, great, good stuff. But they're still trying to force you into the same traditional way of the process. So they have actually not updated their process. They've just tried to move the process online.
Okay.
So instead of saying, okay, guys, let's schedule a Zoom interview so you can renew your TCC, they're saying you can apply online for it, but you still have to come down there, come to the interview for renew it. That is what makes no sense.
Got it.
Yeah. And there's another thing I want to add to that, KDL. We now have a system, and we reported on it, where the government, where the tax office they're uploading the insurance. So there is one centralized space where all the insurance companies put their policies, and tax office and such can access it, right? With COVID happening, maybe it couldn't have happened before. And something like your motor vehicle registration, where you would need to fact check.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, many people buy the fitness at the same tax office, and now you have access to the insurance information in a centralized location. Why can't I do my registration online?
Guys, we're not, it's a mess. Our tax system is an absolute mess. And Karine, I agree with you that a lot of research has to be done. But the problem with researching anything in Jamaica, whereas it relates to taxes, is that there's not one central location where you can find the information. And even when there is, the information is either out of date,
Outdated.
or the information is different on different pages, as Monique said, because we experienced that when we were registering.
Yeah, so you
And
don't
when
know
we
which one
called
is.
them, we had, guys, let me give you a tip. This is a big tip. Call Maypen Tax Office. You see, if you don't want anything done, any
Careful, you know,
information,
Maypen, you come from, you know.
call Maypen Tax Office, because whosoever run Maypen Tax Office forget raise big old scar, line,
Everything.
Don't understand the word.
because the Maypen Tax Office is the best tax office in Jamaica.
I
Hands
agree.
down, straight up. I have never been able to get through and get proper information from anywhere else. Me save them number on my phone. Me I have the name of people that me know everybody down there because me call them every time. They are on top of it. Big up on yourself, Maypen Tax Office. I swear to you, Tanika. Any information about anything, call Maypen Tax Office. And them answer. Them answer after touring.
Them answer phone?
Them answer phone.
That alone was enough. That alone was enough.
3 times and nobody not answer. That's what I say. Whosoever wrote Maypen Tax Office for
You
becoming
deserve.
Prime Minister.
Them
Anyway,
deserve nice things.
nice things, the blessings of the Lord. Yes. So
Hallelujah.
true. No exaggeration. They are proficient, especially when it comes to information. They're on top of it. Anyways, so those are some of the myths. So what are some myths, good or bad, about being your own boss that you've personally proven false? I'll go first. That you're going to have financial freedom
Oh Lord.
being your own boss. No, don't get me wrong. You will after you've established your business, which is not an immediate thing.
You have the
It's going to
capacity
take
to.
years.
Yeah,
So
you
what
have the
I
capacity
wish-
to.
yes,
You have the
yeah,
capacity
exactly.
to, because it's
Yeah.
not
What
a
I
will.
wish they
Yeah.
would have said to me is that after 5 to 10 years, or after 3 to 10 years, you will have financial freedom if you do the right thing. Because so many startups fail within the first year or two of business. So you're going to have to put in the work on the front end to build the business, establish it, concretize it, do all the formal things that you need to do, get all the right people in place before you can realize financial freedom. Because right now, Monique and I are not taking home pay. Okay. Who want to go next? and it's not that our company is not making money, because our company made profit last year, which the government take what
Yeah, can we talk
Wusa,
about
Wusa.
revenue and profits? Just really quick.
Wusa.
Revenue and profits.
guys, the woman said the government step in our money.
Yes.
Oh God, them step in at it. Yes. So, and what we decided not to take a paycheck because we wanted to reinvest. So right now, the only thing we're able to do is pyramids. I guess that's financial freedom in some respects. But if something go wrong, money can I go be out there going
La da
for
dee.
arms for the poor. When I may find me a new Kingston one of these nights. So that's what nobody tell you. Talika, you go next.
No, I'm sorry. That's hilarious. But that is so true, though. I really wish we would just have that conversation and just talk about that more often, because entrepreneurship is one of those things where it's a slow burn. It's not like you get a job, you go through training, and boom, there's your paycheck the following weeks. That's not how entrepreneurship works. It's a very slow burn. But once you get to that point, like what Katie is saying, once you get to that point, it definitely makes a difference. And again, just talking about the difference between revenue and profit, you can be making revenue, doesn't mean you have profit. And I feel like that's something that people need to identify and understand first and foremost. But one of the myths was just self-accountability. So we talk a lot about entrepreneurship in and of itself, but the personal development that you have to go through. There is so much healing. You have to really go in and dig into your childhood traumas. You have to understand why you have certain habits, why you have these limiting beliefs, all of these different things. And it's so on top of already having to try and figure out what entrepreneurship is, we don't really talk about the personal development. They kind of make it seem like, oh, you were born an entrepreneur. I don't know if I really agree with that whole thing. Oh, you have to be born an entrepreneur. Oh, you have to have a certain personality in order to pitch your product or service, or you have to have a certain personality to be successful. There's so much skill sets and stuff that you have to invest in outside of running your business. And I feel like that's one of the myths where people just make it seem like, oh, once you have one and two things, you're good to go. You don't need to work on anything else. It's just going to fall in your lap once you do the hard work. A lot of the hard work is the mental stuff that you have to go through. A lot of it.
It's not the actual work.
It's
not the actual work. Yeah. Because you can do the actual work. Yeah.
Karine, what are some myths, good or bad, about being your own boss that you've personally proven false?
Listen to me. All that you've
start off by listening to me.
No, but those that you've mentioned, each of you, I think those are the key things, especially for the financial side of things. So I can just relate. I detail that. Is that the word? Or detail? What is it?
Ditto. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
forgive me on that. But one of the things that I've learned, and I'm really hoping that throughout the pandemic, all entrepreneurs, especially for the startup and the aspiring entrepreneurs, they really took the time during the pandemic to really do some self-assessment and to also evaluate and assess what was happening around them, so that, because COVID-19 won't be the first and the last, right? There are more pandemics to come. And how will you handle this sort of thing as an entrepreneur? And one of the things that I have learned is having multiple income multiple types of income, right? And I'm not saying that you cannot focus on the one, right? But Warren Buffett speaks about it, having multiple income coming in your way, which will help you to also build wealth, right? And I really want to express that to a lot of the young entrepreneurs. Next month, Kadia, you might want to come back on your show, because I'm so excited. I'm going to be launching a new service /
for sure
product. I'm going to be a woman in techno. I am going to be launching a very exciting app that will be a game changer, the first of its type in Jamaica. And I really took my time as an entrepreneur to really observe what was happening. And the way how I work, I am not a short-term thinker. I like things that are sustainable. So a lot of us as entrepreneurs too, we think we're supposed to make the money. No, the return is supposed to be no.
Yeah.
Right? And that is why I have been in everything that I do. I tell these entrepreneurs, up to yesterday, me spend most about 4 hours talking to some people. And I got so heated because the way they do marketing or, do their business in terms of whatever is in their head. Let me just spend $30 and I like to document, have a roadmap, do those sort of things that have a proper measurement in terms of what you're doing good, what you're doing bad. Do that sort of thing. When you go into the insights, I'm a person, I hate likes. I don't really watch the likes on Instagram. I love my insights. For example, and I don't want to go off board in terms of
that's fine. Yeah.
But my point is, as entrepreneurs, there is a whole lot in terms of understanding your operation.
Yeah.
Understanding your operation is not about if you're selling clothes, it's not about just buying the clothes and selling it. Right? There are so many factors and variables that are included in it.
Yeah.
Use up the tools that are available to you. have set objectives. So, for example, on CADSCOM Instagram page, for me, and we can debate that, and I don't get into any arguments about how I think and how I operate. For me, on Instagram and Telika might somewhat disagree with this because I've seen her amazing videos. I smile when I see her doing her stuff.
Thank you.
But we all have different theories of how we operate. And for me, for CADSCOM, it is a page that I want to build awareness. I want people to know the name. Yeah. I am not selling anything on CADSCOM, right? So I don't watch the likes. What I do is to go into my insights. Yeah. And if I get 10 likes, okay. But me want to know when me go to my insight, me see 10,000 people will see it.
Yeah.
Right? And so on. Because I tell you, when I go on the road and I've proven it, people know CADSCOM.
Yeah.
Right? And PR is a greater tool for me than marketing. But again, I'm not saying marketing is not as important, right? But a lot of corporate entities, even for the corporate entity that I worked with, PR, you get a lot of mileage. Gates says if he has his last dollar, he would spend it on PR. So I'm all about PR more than the marketing. The marketing and spending dollar and your return on investment will come after. But I depend on in my first maybe 3 years of doing this to use the PR engine to build a brand.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Great. So guys, the last question before we go, because we have our next guest, is what advice would you give? And Karine just gave some really good advice actually to do this, which is, make sure that you're focusing on the PR aspect of your thing. Make sure that you're doing your analytics. Make sure that you're assessing your business and looking at where, and she said something as she looked at what was happening in the space and she then tried to create something that would help whatever. So that's some good advice. Telika, what is some advice that you would give to people that is just starting or thinking about leaving their 9-to-5 and going into working for themselves? Maybe they're doing side hustles right now and probably want to transition. What would be your advice to them?
So I have so much advice, but I just want to say two main things. So firstly, I agree with Kadeen with what she said. Marketing is one of those things where you kind of just have to decide what works best for you and works best for your business. And I agree with the whole likes conversation. I always tell my audience that it's not about the likes, it's about the website taps. It's about how many people are viewing your stuff, how many people are DMing you. Yes, you got to see how many people are actually opting in and all of those different things. So 10,000% agree with that. And so with that being said, do not think that you can hop on Instagram, TikTok, or any of these platforms and channels and think you're just going to explode. You think you're just going to get all of this traction and that's just it. That's all there is. You post something and that's it. It's not how it works. As Kadeen said, you would have to pay attention to your insights. You have to pay attention to all of these different factors in your business. The second thing that I would say is start building out your systems from early.
Yes.
Build your systems, especially if your goal is passive income. That's not going to happen on its own. You have to understand the different processes that's happening in your business. Where are people going? How are people going to sign up? How are you going to turn these people into recurring customers? Those are the things that you want to pay attention to your business. Start building out your business, your automations, all of that as best as you can from early. And the earlier you do that is the better it is for that whole passive income, financial freedom conversation that everybody is trying to have.
Talk about.
Awesome stuff. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciated you guys being here.
I just want to I'm listening to everybody, but let me just use this opportunity to say for Digital Jamaica, you and Money have been doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Content on your page is just so amazing, and I know it is not easy. But
your best believe.
On the express say, boy, it's not easy. But listen, and I don't think you are people who will easily give up. But I just really want to encourage you to continue to do the great work. And thank you for having me. And Telika, it was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
guys.
Thank you so much. Talika, before you go, is there anything coming up? Because Karine, we're
Yes,
going to have to talk
ma'am.
about that app because, girl,
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
gossip. You have to
we'll have
gossip
you.
for sure. You have to gossip
Yes.
for sure. So, Talika, do you have anything coming up that you want to plug quickly?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. So I have my podcast and my YouTube channel that I will be launching out soon. And I'm hoping to have more conversations like these because we got to talk about it. Also, with the course, I'm currently revamping it. I'm going to be relaunching it all over again. I'm currently at 300 students. I'm hoping to size that up. And I'm also going to be introducing a payment plan. So, for all of my Jamaicans who want to level up their marketing and all of these different things, but you don't have that investment just yet, I got you, girl. That's okay. We got the payment plan running out. And you can always check me out on Instagram and even now TikTok at Women's Marketing
Women's
Code.
Marketing Code.
Yeah, man,
All
I've
right.
been seeing those. Bam,
We see
bam,
them.
bam.
Well,
That's
we love it.
what I was doing earlier. I was like, yeah.
I love it. Thank you, ladies.
All right, take care.
So
Have a
much.
good
This
day.
conversation could go on forever, but
Absolutely.
really
It could.
appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Yes.
Guys, listen. We could talk about this thing forever, right? Because there's a lot of mix going on. This whole be your own boss thing. It sounds really sexy. It is sexy as hell to talk about, but to actually do it, Katie don't sleep.
It's
Ask
two
Monique.
it's
Katie don't
two
sleep.
different things.
I
Yeah.
am up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, creating graphics, put documents together. When money wake up, money can get 500
Message.
from me.
And I'm just like, Kadia, go to sleep.
Ain't no sleeping, especially when, because this thing is your baby. You know what I mean? You birth this thing, so it's kind of your responsibility to see it through to the end and make sure that you put as much energy into making it as successful as possible.
As it can be.
Especially when this thing is going to be paying your bills. So you have to put as much energy, right? You can't just give you have to put in your best efforts, your maximum effort into it. And guys, that in and of itself is extremely
Stressful.
draining
Stressful.
and stressful.
But on that note, Kadia,
yes,
on that note, we're going to be bringing in
yes.
and listen,
Another amazing woman.
Shawneel has been doing this
for a while.
For years.
For a while.
And this has been, Zarabelle has been in existence, but she will have to tell us how long it's been. But from university days, juggling classes and assignments and stuff, they've been building this brand. And so I want to open the floor to know Mrs. Goody. Mrs.
I think something just happened because she should be
bone stuff. All right, yeah.
Stuff.
So just going back to what we talked about earlier, then, because I will share my feedback on the question.
Yes, go ahead, Monique.
On the question that you asked, Katie, around the myths, but I'll save that for afterwards.
Yeah, Shawneel, we're good to go.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Hi, Tish.
Hi, guys.
I had my introduction was going, Tish.
I was trying to come out of the chat and I pressed back and sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Not me.
Okay. Yes.
Welcome to the show, Shawneel. It's really good to have you.
Yes.
I don't know Shawneel as well as Monique do, but what I do know is I have been an admirer of Shawneel for some time. I think we met online. And then let me tell you something what I think about
y'all are also twins. Y'all are also twinning.
I tell you too. That's where the inspiration came from. That's where the inspiration came from. I look at this girl and her buzz cut and her blonde is fire. But I've seen her do her thing, and I'm thinking this is amazing. And I think we met the first time when Carrie had her women leadership thing. You remember?
Oh yes.
That's where we met the first time.
The one UTech.
UTech, yeah. And ever since then, every time Shani and I buck a road, you've been very welcoming and pleasant, and I like that about you.
Always,
Because
yeah.
sometimes you see people in certain spaces and they behave a certain way, and then you see them like this, and they're like,
A different.
consistent, right across the board.
Aww.
Consistent. So that's one thing I like about you, but not just consistent in terms of your personality and how you are, but consistent in business, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Consistent in business. We've seen you.
So let's
everywhere,
bring everybody else in the
right?
conversation, Kadia. Let's
Who
bring
doesn't know
everybody
who
else.
Shanil is though?
For the people in the back who don't know,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Shani, tell us a little bit about Zarabel and what you guys do.
Sure. Okay, so hi guys. Hello everybody that's online. So I'm Shani Bailey Gordon and Zarbel. I heard you saying initially, by the way, when did we start?
Yes.
Officially started in 2012, officially, while we were in 18 at the time. So just answering that quick question. But to jump right into it, Zarbel really and truly provides media production support services.
Yeah.
So that includes talent management, so commercial and voice talents for marketing campaigns, brand ambassadors for events. So right now, the industry is open. We do a lot of events where we're managing the gate or etc. Right? Craft services, and a lot of persons don't know what craft services is, but it's just as important as making sure everybody gets on set. Craft services is actually the snacks and beverages for the behind the scenes of the production. So you're on set and you're not thinking about how that coffee station was there. How did you get that water? How is that ice with igloo and everything is there? That's what craft services is. The in-between meals that you get while you're on production, right? So we provide that service, the build out, we go shopping for them. We do VIP table setups, etc. Recently, we did that for Digicel when they're doing their promotion. We actually provided the table for their ambassadors, stuff like that. And then also, finally, production services. Production services are for incoming international clients. So like film permits, production fixers, which you can call like production tour guides. So they come into the island, we make sure they get everything they need, which could include the crew, the location, the bus, everything. And then, of course, customs brokers, because once they're bringing equipment into the island, they do have to get a customs broker. So we organize all of that for our incoming international clients. So that's really, so we provide the support for the production. So producers love us, we of convenience. We save time, and we focus on customer service. At the end of the day, we want you to come back because you felt appreciated, you felt accommodated, you just felt like, okay, they cared about my service. Me coming to them, and it's not just another person. No, like
a number.
It's not just a number to us. It's really, and we're very passionate about the industry and just overall, giving the best quality, because if you give the best quality service outside of your customers returning, you're also in turn building the industry. You set a certain standard when you provide the best quality of service. So that's something that we definitely pay attention to within our organization.
There's a comment that was left, and it's one word, and I think it's apt. Mr. Gordon says, superstar. And I totally agree. And a part of the reason why your story is so amazing is you started at 18. So me have a question. Yeah. How did you, I know it didn't start with all of this, but how did this idea of providing talent for commercials, for advertisements and stuff even emerge in a little 17 going on 18-year-old pitney brain?
Like, I'm telling you. I mean, that's a great question, Monique. To be honest, when we first started, right, it was actually three of us. I had two other business partners. And I've always been into entrepreneurship and everything and doing my thing and whatever. And a friend of mine that we ended up partnering, she had a modeling agency partnership that she was working with somebody. Anyway, long story short, we're having conversations and she was saying, she'd like to branch out of that opportunity and do another thing. So we ended up working together, and then we added a third business partner, and we started out as a modeling agency actually. And to this day, we're still asked if we do modeling. No, we don't. We don't do modeling agency. We don't do modeling per se. That's more like all time saying. But we originally started as a modeling agency. So that's like runway. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about no runway. I don't know about no fashion. You know what I mean? And we all agreed to pivot when we were working our butts off trying to get the first customer to kind of pay us attention or whatever. Our first job, by the way, 6 months in, free. Like we offered our service free because we wanted the chance to just be out there. I never forget, it was a Kingston Bridal Week. We provided a model on the runway. I was there selling like crazy. And she's like, can you get a model right now? I said, yes. I don't know where I was going to find the person, but I found them. And they were on stage. But, you know, that's where we started first. And then as we grew along, and we're now an LLC, so I don't have any business partner per se. Everybody kind of went on their own, but I did stay around to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
We pivoted because I got the opportunity while working. I got the opportunity. I've always wanted to be in. I just think it's full circle. I've always said I wanted to be in an ad. You know, I always wanted to be a part of a TV commercial or whatever. And I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm actually disabled. I have a obvious limb. And I always thought, you know, I would never be in a commercial. Nobody wants to see me on TV. And to be honest, I didn't see a lot of me, just us on TV.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that encouraged. So when I got the opportunity to work behind the scenes and I saw what it took and everything, and I felt like, okay, we can make a difference. We can provide the persons that look like us. And that's kind of where we started to pivot, because we wanted to see more persons that look like us.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where it kind of slowly
just
kinda,
started taking shape.
Yeah. And, and then I went on set and I was working on set as production assistant. One of the first places I worked was actually the lab. And I was a production assistant. And it was just, the more I was immersed in it, it just really felt so right, because I was doing marketing in college and here I am in production. It just felt like the right thing. And as we grew, we just pivoted, we seized opportunities. When we launched the craft services arm, for example, that was when James Bond was filming in Jamaica, and everybody
lovely.
So the shoots that were happening here in Kingston didn't have any craft services. And I've done craft service before for persons, like they'd hired me to manage, but not necessarily as me. And I was like, they kept saying, Shani, would you do this? Would you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I would do this. I remember the first time it came up, I went to Mega Mart and bought 2 igloos. And I'm like, yeah, I provide craft services.
Yeah.
And that's just how, you have to seize these opportunities. So as we grew, we just kind of seized those opportunities and just grew from there. So that's kind of where we started. That's really it.
I was literally going to ask you about how the craft services started and how you kind of grew into that space. And I love how you took an opportunity. You saw something and didn't just limit it to one pocket, because the truth in entrepreneurship, and something that a lot of us don't really appreciate, is you have to be ready before the opportunity emerges in order to take best or the fullest advantage of the opportunities when they do come up. So what are some of the things that you think that Zarabel does differently, or does you kind of try to implement to ensure success, or to position yourself in the best place to be successful?
That's a really good question, and it's a really good question. To be honest, one of the things that I definitely think, first of all, is I invest in our team. I know that Zarabel is nowhere without our team. We have a very strong core team. I respect my team. I respect their feedback, and I implement their feedback and suggestions, and I create a safe space for them to be able to share what they have, to contribute. Because
their thoughts.
If you keep your mind closed, you would be missing out on $1 million ideas. So that's number one. Like, teamwork is important to me, and investing in your team is also important to me. And from there, you can build out, for example, so one of the things that we do, we implement processes. So our team internally everybody have accountability for what they do, because everybody knows what they're in charge of. right?
Yeah.
And that goes back to respect. So though I may create, for example, the process as the team leader, I still go in with my team and say, hey, you are in the role every day. Tell me how we can make it better and more efficient because you are there and you're interacting. That's also something I would do. We definitely invest in our processes and making sure that we keep accountability going. And I would say a big one as well is customer service. One thing I definitely like, we do customer service and a big part of it is our customer service. Like, our customers are always happy with how we communicate. And I have to big up Amoy. Amoy is our customer experience officer. She is great. I mean, all of my team members are great. Christian, our talent administrator, Kalisha, our accounting manager, and Adrian. He is not officially on the team, but he is my husband, and he does a good job to make sure our software is doing really, really good. So I am very grateful for that core team. But you see, customer service, especially in an island like this where people don't care. I'm not saying we don't care, but let's really don't. Standing out with customer service really and truly can put you on the map just because of that little bit, right? So I know for me, for example, when I go into any business, Popeyes, anywhere, where I go anywhere, I feel more at home when I get the best customer service.
Yes.
And I want my customers to feel at home. I want them, and with customer service, it aligns in your brain. I find, I'm no scientist or anything, but I find that it makes the trust is there as well, because they know that we're going to communicate on time. They know that we're going to keep them posted on what is next, and just overall communicating and giving them that warmth that they need to understand that we're here for them and their convenience. So I think those are some of the things that we've been doing that have really made us stand out right now. And just overall internally doing a lot of pivoting and brainstorming and working together and innovating. Like you can't stay still. I'm not saying you should run and jump from 3 ideas every month, but ideas should be flowing. Even if you start one once a year, ideas should be flowing, because you can't sit and just, because even who thought we'd have a pandemic, for example? Like we had to pivot and launch a whole new sub-service.
Right.
Express box, because we needed to pivot. I mean, so those are some of the things that we've been doing to kind of ensure success.
Even piggybacking on the previous conversation that just ended, just because something you said a while ago really reminded me. We talked about having multiple streams of income. Pre-pandemic, I surely had multiple streams of income. I was teaching at an institution, teaching digital marketing and such at digital marketing. I was consulting on an event, a national event, including foreign people coming in. I had my consultancy service where I provided services to 1 or 2 clients. And so money feel real nice and real cute that her business is starting to look like a business and starting to feel like something that can do a little more than pay you and can be a business. And then COVID just come and say, hello, you think you cute, you think you're nice, bye.
That was a scary time.
Yeah. And so it has required everybody, for persons listening, even people within the digital space, even people who you think should be secure or whatever, it's caused all of us to either reevaluate, to pivot, to change, to assess, to reassess, or to do something that's different. And it's really not easy handling or managing or doing business. Worse if you are alone at the helm, or in my case, it was just me. So adjust me.
And don't forget, there is, before you even get to the stage of pivoting, there's panic, there's depression.
Oh, girl.
There's, oh my God, I'm a failure. I know we don't put out there that we think like that. And I think that brings that unhealthy myth, which
expectation.
That, we're at the top of our game at all the times. And
everything is perfect.
I feel like crap enough time, especially when you're trying to work on something and then it doesn't go as you plan or whatever. But that's definitely a good point, Monique, because I remember when the pandemic first hit. First of all, when it happened, nobody's expected it. Like, we're like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, 3 months, and
It's
like we're cool, we're
yeah.
going easy. Okay, first
Yeah.
of all, we had no revenues. And I'm like, and I'm sure there are a lot of persons here that can relate. My foot is in the entertainment industry and that's been closed for 16 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So and initially everything was closed except a supermarket and probably a gas station.
Yeah.
Everything was closed. Well, I know I was panicking. I couldn't make the team know that I panic too much because I had to keep that strong faith. But Adrian get a lot of the piece of the panic. You know what I mean? Like, I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, after so many years, this is it. It's over. I failed. Woo! You know what I mean? But long story short, you don't see it while you're in the situation, but you do have to plan. So I was pushing out ideas and retracting them and whatever. Until something paper on the wall, something will stick. And, and that's how we launched our Crafty Express boxes. So as I mentioned with the whole craft services where it's snacks and beverages, etc., behind the scenes, we decided, okay, we can't go in contact with anybody right now. They're not going to get the full service and want us to come on location with extra bodies. How can we get the service to them same way? So we put all of those little items, coffee, cups, snacks, water, ice. Of course, the ice is not actually in the box, but ice, drink, everything in a box, and we deliver it to them set. So now they don't have to add any extra bodies. They don't have to do anything extra, and we take the decision making out of them. And we even 3 cups, 7 cups. No, we actually have pre-packed boxes, so you can buy a crafty skeleton, for example, which is for a skeleton crew, or a belly full, which is a little bit bigger, or you can build a box, a craftery. But at the end of the day, the main part of it was the fact that we were able to deliver something in a time of panic. And for me, we wanted to make sure whatever we came with, it wasn't something that it took investment. It took time and different resources. It needed to be something that after the pandemic, we can continue this service. So that it takes a while because it didn't happen immediately. I was all over the place running like a headless chicken for a minute. And then, you have to calm down. You have to also, and as an entrepreneur, guys, you have to know what your safe space is. How do you get yourself back to earth? For me, it's home. It's, my husband and I have a really good, I like to, him know I'm emotional already. Me to ball and overreact or whatever. I'm really good at just keeping me calm and
centered.
And that's my safe place, as well as friends. I have a very tight circle. That's my safe place as well. So those things help to ground me. And I know that grounds me. Personal people relationship grounds me personally. What grounds you? Say it's you needing to take a drive to Montego Bay, do that. But you have to find something that resets your watch so that you're back 100% when you need to.
Okay. All right. So final question, Sean Neal, in terms of things people can reach out to Zarabel for, is there anything new on the horizon? What can they look out for from Zarabel over the next couple months? And if there's anything that you want to plug or share.
Well, to be honest, our main thing right now is our Crafty Express box, as I mentioned, and just our VIP table services. So as regards to, I already kind of explained what the Crafty Express box is right now. So I don't need to go back into that, but I will say one thing that we are working on is internally being stronger. One of the things that we're going to be putting out there now is that we want to ensure that we're giving the best quality service. So of course, for example, being a talent agency as well, you have to see people's images and such. So, look out for us improving on the photo quality. We're actually partnering with a very, very popular photographer here locally. When the announcement leak, will be all over social media. So that way, at the end of the day, when we're submitting to you these options, and then you in turn submit to your client, you are giving them the best representation of what they're about to get. So that's something that we're working on. And it's just right now, it's just to focus on internally making sure when you come to us, we're saving you time. Your customer service is up and everything is just a breeze, basically. But otherwise than that,
Yeah.
Crafty Express is our main thing that we're focused on right now. You know, if delivered to your set, delivery is included in the cost. We have one, the skeleton box, for example, is 12,500. And that covers about 8 to 10 people, you know, studio shoots, you're doing a quick little
Yeah.
product shoot or whatever, and you need
Yeah.
a quick box. You know, a lot of our customers say we save them time having to join price line and all of these things, we're saving them time. So
Yeah.
we save a lot of our customers and produce, which is our you know, producers, production coordinators, and marketing professionals a lot of time, because you want to focus on what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
making sure your customer and your client is happy. You don't have time to go to shop. I'm not saying it's not important, but
Yeah.
we do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So just and making things a lot more convenient. All right. So how can persons find you, Shawnee? How can people contact Zarabel?
Sure. So Zarabel does have a website, www.zarabelja.com, by the way. ZARABELLEJA.com. We're on social media as Zarabel Management, Zarabel MGMT, sorry, Zarabel MGMT. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn, and our email is hello@zarabelja.com. Like hello, like, you know, the simplest greeting. And of course, you can reach us at 1-876-335-2401. So yeah, that's how you get in touch with us. And I'm on social media as me. So I'm not really a social media tete, you know what I mean? But I'm there. I'm online.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawnee. Really appreciate you coming on board with us and wishing you all the best with Zarabel and everything that comes along with it.
Thank you so much. The rest of your day, Monique.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we are going to go now into our tech trivia question answer. And so I asked you, who is this man and what is he famous for? Right? So I have your answer. And the answer is Michael Aldrich, sorry. In 1979, English IT expert invented All right. In 1979, English IT expert, inventor, and entrepreneur Michael Aldrich had a simple idea to connect a modified domestic. All right, guys. So we're having some technical difficulties. One moment. All right. So we're coming again with the trivia answer, right? So we'll have one moment. But one of the things that we've kind of gone through, or one of the gems and lessons that we've learned in today's session is that there's so many aspects and layers of building your business, and you have to take many different areas into consideration as you start building and crafting your concept. And it's one thing to have a brand, it's one thing to have an idea, but it's another thing to actually build a profitable and sustainable business, one that can run on its own and that provides the kind of help and support that you would like to communicate with your publics. All right. So let's go straight into the trivia answer. All right. So we'll come again. So the tech trivia answer, we asked, who was that gentleman that you saw? Right. So Philip, and I'm going to butcher his last name. Emiagwali. He won the 1989 Gordon Bell Prize for his work on the connection machine. And this is actually the world's first supercomputer. Now, at Digital Jamaica, we think it's really important to celebrate the lives and the stories of Black people around the world who have done amazing, amazing things. So we had our USB microphone actually ready for the winner. We'd have to check social media to see if there were any persons who were able to come up with the correct answer before we made that announcement there. All right. So I'm going to see if persons had the answer. All right. So I had 3 persons who gave answers, and we're going to add it to our system and randomize. So let's see who got our USB microphone. All right. And our winner is none other than Wanga Gyal. Wanga Gyal, please send us a DM with your information. Let us know that you've heard that you're the actual winner so that we can arrange to get your prize to you. All right. Thank you so much to everyone who has participated, to all of our guests. We had an amazing conversation with Telika and with Karine from Cadscom, and Shaniel came in, and it just felt natural and beautiful. From the team, Digital Jamaica, Katie and myself, want to thank you guys for tuning in. And also remind you guys that we have a lot of activities coming up. If you're tuned into Digital Jamaica, you'd have seen that we've announced our monetization bootcamp. From August 13 to 15, we have 6 different amazing trainers over 6 different sessions covering 3 days. And we have, listen, we're going all in, whether you're an influencer, content creator, you're somebody who wants to learn how to monetize your personal or professional brand, when we've literally broken out the steps and the things that you need in order to be able to do so. And so gonna encourage you guys to head over to our website and check out our monetization bootcamp. Now you can take advantage of it as a package, a bundle package where you get all 6 of the sessions. However, if it is that you need something a little more flexible, or you know the specific areas that you need help in, then you can drop in on courses, and we have a different price structure for that as well. So extremely flexible in terms of pricing and how you can actually participate as well. We had our pop-up talk shop on Saturday on Working Abroad. We have mentioned that earlier, and guys, it was amazing. Thank you to each of our community members who tuned in, you registered, you showed up, and you asked your questions. Listen, there were so many gems that were shared on Saturday, and we're so happy to be able to share this information with you. We really want to give big thanks to our panelists who gave their time, and our moderators who assisted us with that session. And guys, we have an upcoming subscription service that we need to tell you guys about. You're going to have to stay tuned to Digital Jamaica so that we can share some more information with you guys about how that's going to work and announce dates for starting, etc. But it's going to be all around helping you actually create better content, learning and understanding how to maneuver digital, and not just digital marketing, so many other ways. We have things in store for you guys. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into the Digital Jamaica Live show. And we hope to stay connected. Follow us on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are looking forward to staying in touch with you. From the Digital Jamaica team, Katie Francis and myself, Monique McIntosh, we wish you a very awesome week and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you very much. Bye.